Hey everyone, welcome back to the SharePoint online learning series. My name is Seema and I have been working on SharePoint and Power Platform from last 14 years. In the last video, we understood what is a site collection, what are the types of site collection, that is a team site and a hub site and communication site. In today's video, we are going to learn about the list and libraries. So list is like a table or it is like an Excel sheet which stores a row and column wise data. So most of the people you might have worked on Microsoft SQL tables. So in SharePoint also we can store a row column wise data, and where we store that data is called list. With respect to the Microsoft, there is an option to store even multi-dimensional data using Microsoft Analytics service. But with respect to the SharePoint list, we can only store two-dimensional data, that is row and column wise. Coming to the library, library is like a folder on your computer. That folder is called library, where you can store files with metadata. Metadata is the term which can be used to define attributes for the file. For example, if you have a file that belongs to a certain department and you want to attribute that, and you can create an attribute called department. The department will become the metadata for that respective file. Let's understand the list in detail. So this is one of the list which is sales, and as I said, this is two-dimensional, right? So the column says the column names and the row says what is the data about. So this is an example list which is storing sales of a product with number of units sold, what is the discount, and which country is the product from, what is the sales price, what is the gross sales. You can have a look at what all attributes we are storing. So these attributes we call it as columns in SharePoint, and the rows are called as items. Let's go to a library and understand how a library looks like. So this is an example library. Array is nothing but a folder which store files. So document is the library name. That document stores number of files. So the modified and modified by, these are the metadata or attributes for the respective file. You can also add one more column to store more attributes or store more metadata. Notes for this. So the notes metadata will be added. So you can go to the properties of the file and edit respective metadata. So I would say notes is know more about metadata, right? So this will be saved automatically. So we understood what are lists and what are libraries. We'll try to understand more about the list by creating one list from the scratch, and also we'll understand what are the multiple ways of creating list and how to plan the columns while you are creating a list. There are multiple ways of creating list. Let's understand them one by one. The easiest way to create a list is to land on your welcome page and hit on new and hit on list. As I said, there are multiple ways of creating list. The three main ways are to import it from the Excel, to import it from the CSV, and to create it from an existing list from any of the site that you have permission to. Let's look at them one by one. How we can create list using Excel. I have created an Excel file, and this has got 5 columns, and I have populated couple of rows. When you are creating list from an Excel file, we have to make sure that this is formatted as table. So I have downloaded this employee data. Let us create it from that file. It will take couple of moments to load the table, and here you can see that this top row defines the type of data. By default, title is an existing column in the list. Whenever a new list is created, title will be there by default. And single line of text defines the text. The designation, you can choose to have it as a choice. Date of birth, you can choose to have it as a date time. And gender, you can choose to have it as choice. And also you observe that there is one more thing called do not import. This means you don't want to choose that column value, or you don't want to choose to create that column. So let's say hit next, and I want to create it as employee data list. Hit on create. This will create a list, and it will refer all the data that was there in the Excel, and it will create all the row from that. Observe that we have all the columns same as in the Excel file. This is one way of creating list. One more way of creating list is to create it from the existing list. Let's say that we have a list called students, and we want to create students. Let's say that we have a list called students, and we want to create a database called, or a list called, high school students. Hit on create. When you create a list out of another list, the new list will also have the same columns like the source list. Let's say what are the other ways of creating list. You can directly choose to create a list. Let's say we want to create a basic list from the scratch, and we don't have anything to refer to. As I said, the list will have title column by default. So these are the ways to create lists. There's one more way. You can also go to the site content, and from here you can also create list. So these are the ways that you create list. Let's go and check how we can create a document library. Again, you can come on your landing page and click document library. You can also choose to create a blank library, or you can choose to create from an existing library. Let's create a blank library. Here you can upload your files. You can upload the folders. You can upload the files, or also you can drag and drop files. Say I want to drag and drop file. You can choose multiple files and drag and drop at the same location. You can also create a folder and open the folder and upload files here. You can also drag and drop folders. So that is how you can create a list, and you can create a document library. In our next video, we'll try to create a list from the scratch by considering one of the real-time use case. and we can try to understand what are the configurations and what are the settings that we can do with the lists.